Ladies
All
and
right.
gentlemen, hello, hello, hello. It is March 20th. It is Friday. It is SketchUp Live Day. We are here with a great stream for you. And my name is Matt. I'm going to be liaising with the chat, as it
Liaising.
says in my my name. And over next to me is the Timberman himself, today's modeler in chief, Aaron.
Thanks. Thanks, Chief Liaiser.
Chief Liaison sounds like a Star Wars character.
It does. And he definitely has a gun of some sort. I'm sorry, blaster. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How's everybody doing? Where's everybody at? Where's everybody coming from? Like, I mean that in any way you want to answer. I'm doing good. I'm coming from a good place. Or I'm in, I don't know, some Norwegian village. I don't know. Just, how's it going?
How are you? How are you today, Aaron?
How are you? I'm good. I'm good. It's Friday. It was a very busy week. It was a lot of stuff going on, but it's nice having this time to look forward to at the end of the week, because this is a relaxing, enjoyable time that I get to spend with you. So yeah, yourself, you happy, Matt? I mean, we don't get to see as much as you as we used to, because now you got to share. You got to share me with everybody else.
I know. Yeah, totally. But yeah, no, I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be here on SketchUp Live, ease into the weekend and hang out with everybody in the chat. So
That's right.
yeah, excited for the stream today. And James already got the puns going, saying timber. So
Keep it coming.
thanks for that. That's definitely the kind of vibe we're going for today. So
fits right
yeah.
in.
Love it. Because yeah, you have Timberman and James says timber, of course, but today's topic of today's stream is timber framing. A timber framed ceiling, I believe, is the title of the stream, because we've done, you did walls framing on SketchUp Live previously, you did floor framing, and you did roof.
That's right.
Framing.
This time what I want to do is I want to go for like internal view of a room and like looking up and seeing that big vaulted area and those exposed timber frame trusses. That's going to be fun. It's going to be a cool thing. It's going to be a little bit of design, so I'm not working off a plan or anything like that. We're going to start with a fairly basic room. We're going to have a rectangle. And we're going to go through and we're going to deck it all out with the timber and the wood and the purlins and all the stuff. So it's going to be a fun one. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, should be a cool stream. I love anytime I walk into a room that's like that vaulted, with just feels so classy. I'm like, it's like inviting, but it's also like grand, and man, it's just it's a whole experience to walk into a room like that.
Exactly, and I think it does do that. It's like, it's big, it's high up, it's heavy stuff above you, which is, there's a weight thing and a psychology and that kind of thing. But it's also wood, which is very comforting, and yeah, it's most time very expensive. So that makes the room feel like it.
Yeah, 100%.
Get a nice drop ceiling, you have a totally different feeling.
Next week, tune in next week for drop ceiling modeling.
That's right. We'll have my cousin Doug over and we're going to knock it out in a weekend.
Yeah. Sounds like fun. We have folks from Ontario, Canada, Poland, Kenya, Devon, UK. We have Newfoundland, all over the place, Toronto. So welcome in one and all. Yes. And it's going to be a fun show today. So thanks for joining us. And I think let's get right into the SketchUp.
Let's do it. Let's go. All right. So like I said, this is going to be a little, we're going to shoot from the hip a little bit. I have a pretty good idea what I want to do. And I downloaded a couple of images I want to share with you guys. I'm just going to kind of grab them and just drop them on the floor here so I can reference just for imagery. So I'm going to go File. I'm going to import. I'm going to grab one of these images and I'm just going to import it as an image. And then, like I said, just kind of chuck it down here on the floor. I'm not used to a pinwheel being here right now. That seems odd to me.
It must be a big image.
I did not think so, but
wasn't it Friday the 13th last week?
Yeah, but we got two of them in a row, so we're overdue. Right, there was, I don't know what that was about, but so this is what I'm talking. We're talking about timber framing. We're going to get some exposed kind of tongue and groove planks there on the bottom of the roof, have some timbers running along, and then maybe every other one, every third one will be dropped down into the full exposed truss. So this is the look that we're going for. This is going to be kind of what it looks like. Let's go ahead. I'm going to import a couple more just to show you what exactly. Oh, I saw this one and I was like, "Ooh, yeah, that I like." I like this kind of vault, kind of a scissored look there to the bottom, rather than going straight across like this one does. Having it go up a little bit like that, I just think that's a cool look. It looks like Matt said, it's classy. It's classy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is.
And then the other thing I definitely want to do, because I just love the look of this, is put some plates on there. So if you haven't seen, oops, I'm getting click happy over here already. If you haven't seen it, which I imagine most people have, that means doing something like this on the connections. So actually bolted, custom made metal plates that are going to tie it all together. It's not like a like something you'd see in a traditionally truss framed roof where they have the 2x members with the nail plates on there. This is more of a aesthetic thing. It's supposed to be seen. So of course we'll use that along with some materials, because I model with materials now, guys. I'm kind of a big deal. But yeah, we'll go in and we'll put some sweet materials on there. We will, this is going to look good. This is going to look cool. This is going to be a lot of fun. So with that, I'm going to grab all of these. I'll keep them around. I'm just going to slide them way over here like that. And I'm just going to start with the room. And I'm thinking, I haven't really thought about how big, maybe like, we want to go grand, but we don't want to go ridiculous. So like maybe 25 feet wide, and then maybe it's a nice long room, like a pool room or something. We'll say 50 feet. So not a small room by any means, but yeah, something like that. So if Sri was standing inside that room, it's a decent sized room, but it's not ridiculous. Okay, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to take that. I'm going to push that up. We'll give it a decent, like a 10-foot head height. And then I want to put a vault into it. So what we'll be doing is we'll be looking at this from underneath. So we'll be doing most of our work looking up like that. So you guys have all seen the SketchUp videos where you make a ridge like this. Boom, done. Problem with that is that was really arbitrary, even by my standards. And I'm all for modeling arbitrary. That's up some amount, so it created an angle of something. That's not the ideal way to do that sort of thing. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this and I'm going to rotate it. This is going to allow me to get a copy of it. So just a copy, hit the modifier key to grab a copy, and I can say rotate that to whatever angle I want. If I know the specific degree, I can put that in. Here in the US, when we're looking at roof plans, we usually see slope over 12. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put in 6:12. Okay. So that's a 6:12 roof. So I could just go from the middle and go up like this, but how much more fun will it be to do this again? Rotate that again, 6:12. There we go. And then to verify that's right, this point should come straight down to the midpoint. Yes, it does. Everything is perfect. All right, so I'll just put a line where those two intersect, get rid of all that, get rid of all that, go like that, and then erase all this, and we'll go like that and erase all this. All right, I love this visualization style, but between the shadows and the different colors because of the sun, I don't like it. I don't like it. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna turn some of this stuff off. I'm gonna go over to my view face style. Now we're just gonna go to regular shading with textures for now. And I'm gonna go to shadows and I'm gonna turn that off. Shadows are extra stuff going on. But as of right now, shadows are also handled by the old graphics engine, so they're not as optimized as some of the new materials and redraws are. So sometimes shadows can slow you down. Excuse me. All right, the other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get rid of one edge here. I'm gonna work inside this shape. And I want this to be my blank canvas. I'm going to grab all these faces and say reverse. And then I'm going to triple click, make this a group, and I'm going to right click and lock it. That way I can't accidentally erase something on here. I can't select and move any part of this. It's just, like I said, a canvas. It's just flat there. It's not going to mess with me at all. All right. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like a 3D guide. It's like,
exactly.
you got guides, to help you out in all dimensions. So that's cool.
All right. So at this point, I've modeled something. So I'm going to go ahead and hit File, Save.
Save.
And then Save.
Don't have it hooked up today. Sorry, folks. I know everybody was looking forward to a lot of annoying sounds, but not today.
It's a shame. It's a shame. All right. I'll be honest about one thing. I don't have a like materials specifically that I'm using here, so I'm going to be a little fast and loose with dimensions of material. It's been a while since I've done any of this. Like,
well, that's not good. Did everybody on the chat lose Aaron too? Hello, hello, hello.
Hi.
Something happened.
Yeah, I noticed that. That was cool. I just got a bunch of messages that my camera wasn't saved anymore, or it wasn't shared anymore.
Oh,
maybe had more to do with just being fully disconnected from the stream.
Fun. Well, we're back now, but
so yeah, so that's the most important thing I've ever learned in my entire life. Now, let's so as we look at something like this, we're going to work from the ceiling down. So we're going to start with these pieces right here. Like I said, this decking, boarding, whatever you want to call it. This would be on the underside of the actual framing. So I'm assuming that the actual framing of whatever this is structural framing is up on the outside of this. And then we're just going to kind of come inside of that as far as modeling. So first I'm going to do is I'm going to get a new rectangle here. So I don't want to work on this again. This is my template. That's the stuff I don't want to mess with. So there's a couple things I could do. I could unlock it, go in, make a copy of this rectangle, come out, relock it, and then paste that rectangle in place. But since the rectangle is just 4 lines, I'll probably just trace over it real quick, and that will give me that. And then what I'll do is I'll take that and we'll put materials on there. So I'm going to do a couple more things. I am going to make a couple scenes with and without the template. So we're going to come in here to scenes. And right now I'm going to say, well, all I want to toggle with this is hidden objects. Or actually, let's make it tags. Let's go put this on a tag. It's probably the better way to do this. And we can toggle it on and off. So I'm going to go into tags. I'm going to create a new tag called ref, which is for reference. It's just one of the words I use a lot. So I'm going to grab this plus these over here, and I'm going to put all of them onto that ref tag.
It's because it's locked.
Yeah, I got to unlock it. There we go. Now put on ref.
And the images too.
Relock it.
The images didn't get brought onto the tag. Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was just warning me multiple times. It was really concerned about that other thing. All right. So that's good because now I can just boom, 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 boom. But if I go make it part of a scene, then I'll have a control right on the screen. So we'll hit 1 with everything on, and then we'll turn that tag off and create another one. And all that'll do is if we go back and forth now is toggle it on and off. Just because I'm trying to be better about naming things, I'm going to call this reference. And then this one will be no reference. There we go. So a good option, not just if I'm modeling from a 3D shape, but in general, it's great to bring in images, plans, whatever you have, but sometimes a couple things. If you get a lot of stuff in there, it can slow down redrawing the screen in theory if you get enough in there. The other thing is, it's just I don't always need it, right? I can just right now I just want to work off of this rectangle right here, and that's it. So let's do that. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to grab my paint bucket. We're going to go to materials. We're going to look for some wood. And none of these are really what I want. There's a couple in here that are wood, or wood panel-y kind of looking thing, but they look more like laminate. I want a clear definition of where like the tongue and groove meeting is. There should be a good dip between the edges. So I'm gonna go hop onto 3D Warehouse and just grab some new materials that I don't have in here. So in here, I do have a bunch of named collections. I'm gonna go right into the wood collection. And like I said, these first ones are veneers. They work. I mean, it looks like the nice thing. I have noticed this about the wood veneers. They're cool because they look like a printed wood material. And if you look at like the shine map, the bump map, it doesn't always meet up exactly with the wood, just like a veneer panel wouldn't do that, you know? So it looks very realistic, but not what I want for this. For this, I need some planks. I need some real wood. So something more like this, or, ooh, I like that. Look at that shiny. I don't like the color, but I could probably shift the color a little bit. I think that's the one I want to go for. I'll keep checking. Always look for more. Always look for more. No, I think this is the one I'm going to go for. I like that division. It's called wood planks. That's what I just said. So it must be the one. All right. Yes, that's it. Okay, cool. So I'm going to download that. When I download a material from 3D Warehouse, it puts it directly in the paint bucket. So all I got to do to place it is click. And you'll notice that when it did that, it did automatically orient it so that the long side of the shape I clicked on is the long side of the wood planks. That it will do that automatically. That's not a thing that had to make it do. All right. So, all right, I got to get rid of this ground plane too. I'm sorry to keep just complaining about the things that I don't like that are happening.
It's all the style. The style is
it is really
hampering your style.
You know, this is the first time, this version of SketchUp's the first time that I haven't gone in and made my own style for modeling. It's usually one of the first things I do. I think it's just because I just got preoccupied with all the materials and stuff. So
yeah.
All right, there we go. Now
Penguin Old Time Radio is right on time with. Shouldn't you turn off the ground?
Exactly.
And yeah, great minds. But yeah, here we are with no ground.
Thank you very much. You're absolutely right. And we're going to account for the lag there and say that you reminded me before I remembered. Give you credit for that one. All right. So if we go to in model materials, there's my wood. Like I said, I like it, but I do like, if we pop reference back on, I like this lighter color and then having the trusses be a little darker. And I do like it with white walls like this. So that's kind of look I want to go for. We're going to have white walls, kind of a light, a very yellowy, bright ceiling. And then we're going to have a little bit darker wood with black plate. It should all contrast and look pretty good together. All right. So again, there's that Z fighting. All I have to do to get rid of that is go to no reference, and we're here. Awesome. All right, so to change the color of these, I'm just going to double click on the material that shows up here. And with it selected, if I switch over here, I can real easy get a slider, see if that's good enough. That's not bad. I do want, like I said, just a little less orange though. Maybe something more like that. All right, I think that's going to work. All right, I'm going to double click that whole thing. We're going to mirror a copy of it along the ridge.
Very nice.
This is working out just dandy, in my opinion. All right, now let's save. A couple things are going to happen here. We got to put a couple things in. One is we're going to want a ridge beam. So we're going to want a big piece going right down here down the middle. And then at maybe 4 foot on center, we're going to have these pieces come in, these Purlin guys right here. We're probably going to want to get a piece of wood at the face of the wall. And then what we'll do is like every third one or so, we'll drop a full truss into rather than just these pieces. So that's kind of what our whole shape is going to look like. I'm going to save. I am going to triple click this and make it into its own group. Just to keep the geometry from intersecting, as I'm going to go in and draw some more geometry now. I don't want it to mess with that. And let's see, we'll come up here and we'll come down like, I don't know, maybe maybe like 14 inches. So nice big ridge beam, 8 by 14, something like that. That'll work. That'll do. I'm gonna come up to here to here. I'm just gonna cut it, you know, like at the roof. I'm not necessarily taking into account how everything in this is framed accurately, so much as how it's going to look good. I don't know, maybe at some point we'll meet with somebody who knows what they're doing and doesn't just fake it like I do, and they can tell us exactly how they'd go about.
Oh, I think we lost him again. Something with this office internet not holding up too strong. Hey, here we go.
I'm not a fan of. This is not my favorite thing that's ever happened. I don't know what to do. Just got to kind of muscle through, I guess. I'm keeping an eye out, guys. So if out of the corner of my eye, I have another monitor here, and if it comes up and it says camera loss, I'm just stopping. So
you're not missing.
And if
anything.
Matt stops moving and talking, then I'm aware too. That's sometimes a weekend just can't come soon enough, you know. All right. So before I make this into a group, I am going to put some materials on it. Again, looking at my wood, I don't have a wonderful, kind of want a rough sawn lumber look. None of these really kill it. So I'm going to hop back up to warehouse and go back into that wood collection. Just see if there's something that looks more like rough sawn lumber. Get past these veneers again. Something that looks kind of bumpy, and see, something like that might work. It's a little rougher material than what we have here, but I'd have to make sure to size it properly to hit each face. I don't know that there's one big cube that looks like a huge chunk of wood. Ooh, that's bark.
Oh.
But you know what? With
going real rustic on it.
Let's take a look at this one.
Straight bark.
That is a little too barky. Too much bark.
Mm-hmm.
They say you can't have too much bark, but I would fully disagree with that. Sometimes there's too much bark. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go with that first one that I saw. Oh, maybe this one. Is that the one I was talking about? Yeah, that was it. So yeah, get past the veneers. I'm gonna use this plank and I'm gonna scale it so it fits nicely. So grab that. Also adjust the color, because like I said, I do want a deep kind of espresso brown on there. So I'm gonna download that. Again, it'll drop it right in my paint bucket. So I can just come in here, and I'm not gonna do the whole thing. I'm just gonna do this face. So I don't have to actually select anything. I'll drop it on there like that. Okay, and if we look at it, that's how that looks. That looks great. Actually, with the seam in the middle, that actually seems, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna leave that just like that. In fact, I'm gonna copy that and put it right here. I'm gonna come down here. Looks like this is a 2-ply member or something now. Drop that there. That's cool. Nah, I want it all to be one. I lied. All right, so let's go in here. We'll go to texture, we'll go to position. And really all we have to do is we just have to scale it up. Or, ooh, hey, I can even just slide it over. Look at that. There we go.
Nice.
Perfect. Yes. All right, so I'm gonna grab this, put it on here. Also put it on here. I'm gonna try dropping on one side and see how it goes. Oh, yeah, not too bad. I'm gonna grab it. Same thing, texture, position. I'm hoping I can just slide it up and it'll be, nope, I gotta make it a little bigger. All right, no problem. I'll just go grab right here, just make it a little bit bigger like that. And that covers the whole side. All right.
Nice.
All right, so that satisfies my wood look, material look, but it's not the color I'm looking for. Like I said, I want that stained dark brown color. So same thing I did before. I'm gonna go home, grab that new wood material I got. We're gonna come into our colors, and I'm just gonna drag it from the middle, which just means it's fairly grayish is where it is now, because it's really in the middle. And I'm just gonna drag it up in the orange a little bit, because that's where brown lives. Brown lives up here in the orangish colors. You can see it coming a little like that, but even darker, I think. Yeah, there we go. Looks great on my screen. You know, that's an objective thing that happens when you talk about colors. Everybody's monitor is calibrated differently. If you watch it on a TV versus a 4K monitor, it's going to look different. But yeah, I got nothing to do about that. I can't change it, but it looks great here. So if you guys don't like the color, then I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, once you build this, it'll be, you know, the real
Then we'll
room
be able
will
to tell.
be, yeah, then it's all the same for everybody when they're in the room.
That's right. Well, then you guys will just have to all come out and see it.
Yeah. Use this promo code for your flight to come see this finished building when it's done.
There you go. All right. That looks pretty good. I like it. All right. Now I'm going to put in my, I guess you call them purlins or rafters or whatever, but we're going to put them in at, let's say, I think 4 foot on center would work good. Let's check and see what this dimension is right here. I'm doing this totally backwards. That's a foot. So if I take a 10-inch member, that should work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right here, and then perpendicular to this line, I'm going to draw 10 inches. And I'm just going to run that perpendicular or parallel to that top edge. Oh, perfect. Look at that. Intersect right there. Take that down here. Get rid of that extra edge. And then we'll take that and we'll bring it out. Let's see, like 4 inches. Yeah, 4. I will say, I remember when I first started doing design work, one of the things I really did struggle with quite a bit was reflected ceiling plans, thinking about designing something, looking at it like this. And then when you look at it on the page, it's actually flipped and mirrored because you're looking at it as though you're looking up. So there's definitely something about that makes it more difficult. Because I'm in SketchUp, the nice thing is I could always just, if I wanted to, grab this and then just rotate it. Right? I could come in here and I could model it like that, looking down. That's an option if you want to do that. If it gets to the point, like me, when I start flipping upside down, I start doing things with my head like this. Like, there's no need to do that. It's the same on the screen, no matter where you put your head. Just FYI, if you haven't caught that, now you know. Right. So let's get this thing colored. I'm going to grab the same material here, put it here. Looks good. All right, and I'm going to grab.
Oh boy. Well, thanks everybody. Yeah, we'll work on troubleshooting this in the off time for sure. But we're back. No problem. It happened again, but we're back now.
Notice it's got to be something going on because every time I do it, it zooms back. Hey, there's a behind the scenes look. This is kind of funny because I present on a green background, but that green background is provided by the green screen I stand in front of, which when zoomed out, you can see the outside of. And we're back.
Yeah. If anybody in the chat is a computer expert, let us know what could be going wrong. But yeah, we'll try to work on it before next week.
Yeah, not sure what or why that is happening.
How? We don't know. When? It's always a question.
All the question, well, far too often.
Yeah.
Is the answer to the when.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Whoops. Oh, because it's turned the other direction. So, you know what? This is silly. Hold on. Back up. Okay. Let's just get to the point where I have my thing. I'm going to grab it, make it a group, and then we will take it and rotate it so it's flat. There we go. Explode it. Oh, son of a gun. Gotta sample it again. Go. And then we can just position it. When you have materials like that go, when they're being placed, they're going to be placed according to the face's relativity to the main axes. So you might want to just, if you can, take a material, either change the axes to it or temporarily rotate it up like I just did. And then we can take it back and we can rotate it back down afterwards. There we go. Okay, so
Nice.
I'll grab that one. I'm going to make it a component because it's going to repeat. I'll take that option. So we'll go this way 4 foot. And we'll do that like 10 times, 12 times. Good enough. We'll talk about this spacing, this odd spacing down here, and what we would do with that in just a second. First, before I do that, I'm going to grab all this except for this, and I'm going to mirror it. You know, there's some steps when you do them, you feel like you got a lot done. And doubling the entities in your model with a single click is definitely one of those. That went from a big bare space to we got a ceiling. Awesome. That looks cool. I like it a lot. All right. Let's put our members on here on the wall that we're going to have. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to come down like 12. Come out like 2. This is only going to be partially exposed. Something like that. And then we'll take that and we'll all the way to the end. And then we want these pieces going all the way inside them. This is why I made them a component, is because now what I can do is I can come in here and I can say, okay, run that, follow that angle down to here. Then we'll go up like this. And this piece will go across here. This piece will go across to here. Then we get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. And there we go. All the rafters are cut.
Very nice.
I'm going to grab this one. I'm going to grab this piece right here, this edge, and just slide that up. There we go. So it covers the whole edge of the wall.
Nice. We did have a comment on nomenclature. Questus on YouTube says that purlins run parallel to the ridge while rafters join the ridge to the eaves. So that's your purlins. What is a purlin? Are these purlins?
Love it.
Answered up. So
thank you. Yes, that I believe, or not I believe, I'm not authority on this. Yeah, thank you. Let's just stick with that. That's a great definition. There we go. Got our rafters. Apparently these are recycled because they got nail holes in them. So that's kind of fun. We're being eco-conscious here.
yeah, reclaimed.
That's right. All right. So there we go. Same thing over here. I'm going to make this into a component also. And then I'm going to call this a wall. I'll call it a header. I'll just call it a header. And then I'll take that, same thing. We're just going to grab that. See, over here we have a gap for that to fit right into. So all I have to do is say, mirror that. Make a copy there. And again, there we go. Ooh, it's coming together. It's coming together fairly easy.
Yeah.
Love that. Let's stop and have a sip of water.
Now would be a good time for the camera to fail and shut you off.
Right. Just with my eyes shut, just sucking on the straw. All right. I mentioned we're going to address this. So obviously, this will probably be a truss member, but we would want one of these guys right here. And then the question becomes, well, what do we do about that odd spacing? Let's see, what is this? Center to center. Oops, I did not move those straight at all. Better do better than that. There we go. So from here to here, yeah, so it's 2 foot instead of the normal 4 foot spacing. This comes, again, if we have an expert on, we can always ask them, but this comes down to like, what do you, I mean, this is a question of aesthetics. This is a question of structural integrity. There's several things I've seen done. One is to just leave it like this, and maybe because of the way the window lines up or something like that, it's okay to have this second one here close. The other thing I could do is I could take the whole thing and slide it this way 1 foot. That's going to give me an even 3 foot space and a 3 foot space, and all the rest are even. It's really up to you, or up to architect, engineer, designer, whoever wants to make that call. But then we have a nice symmetrical look rather than the odd thing we were doing before. All right, I'm gonna save it again. That looks pretty cool. All right, now let's talk about making a truss. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna save this. Make sure we're still in the room. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, beautiful. This is one of those times that Z fighting can be kind of nice, because by seeing Z fighting right here, I know that the face of my ceiling is right where it's supposed to be on the envelope of this space. So that's kind of cool, actually. Obviously, it doesn't look good, so I'd want to, go from here. But it's a thing. If you know what it is, it can help you. All right, that looks good. Let's talk about this truss. So I'm going to go up to my view, face style, and I'm going to temporarily, we're just going to go to monochrome. So I see everything in just a white right now, and then kind of chalk up how I think I want my trusses to look. So I go straight across like that, and we come down like that. And like I said, I did like that little bit of a scissor with that middle piece hanging down. So maybe we'll bring our bottom chord up like that. Ooh, yeah, I like this. I think that's gonna be cool looking. Basically, I'm just kind of outlining shapes here. This will close up here. There we go. I want this to be the same size material, which is 4 inches. So I'm going to go find perpendicular to that, and I'm going to draw that 4. Well, obviously that wasn't 4. Wait, how wide? What am I drawing here? Oh, this is like 8 inches. Big difference. All right. Let's try that again. It got all quiet, Matt. I thought I was disconnected again.
Oh, no, I'm just watching with rapt attention. A day and hut.
Yeah, rapt is an underused term in my opinion. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gone out of style. Now it's like electronic pop music, but rap definitely used to be a lot more popular. I don't know. I'm just trying to say something to prove that I'm not just sitting here listening.
I appreciate that.
Something's better than nothing.
All right. Well, one thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab these pieces as I make them, and I'm gonna just for right now, I'm gonna group them just to keep their geometry separate from each other.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of thinking maybe what I'll do is I'll have one more piece right here going. This isn't a very long span, so what is this? It's only 9 feet. So I think I'll have one more going from here to the middle point here. So I'll figure the middle point by drawing a line from here to here. And there's my middle point. I'll bring it back like that. And then I'm going to grab this piece, and I'm going to put a copy of it right here. I'm going to rotate it so it aligns with that edge I just made. And then I'm going to grab it by the middle point here, and I'll move that down to the middle point here. And that's going to represent my other truss piece. I don't like that though. I'm going to rotate it up a little bit. I think in the design I have a little bit of lenience there, but obviously if that had to be at the middle for structural reasons, I wouldn't do this. Like that, and then this piece will go from here to here to here. And that's going to get gone there.
Nice.
Right. Looks good. I like that. I like the look of this. So I'm going to take each of these then, and one by one I'm just going to extend them out so they're the same width. double click. Double click. And we may do some, no, because I want to keep it flat, because I want to plate them. So I'm going to, I say sometimes when you see this kind of timber build up, that king post, that middle piece will be actually, rather than being a rectangle in plane, will actually come out wider and be like a square dropping down, which is kind of a cool detail. But I think for this, like I said, I want to put those black metal plates on. So I probably won't do that. No, I guaranteed won't do that because I'm not gonna. Probably for sure.
Stake in the ground.
Not doing it. All right, so with these two pieces, I'm going to make a copy of them on the other side. So for that reason, in case something changes, I'm going to make them components. So I'm going to grab this piece. I'm going to make it a component, and I'm just going to call it the bottom chord. I'm going to grab this one, make it a component, call it the web. Then I'll grab this one, make it a component, and call it the king. All right, now I'll grab this and this. And again, terminology, I've said this before. There's so many different names for these different pieces. If you feel an overwhelming need to share what you would have called one of these, absolutely go for it. But just know, I'm not going to rename any of these. I appreciate your input, but it's not going to happen. I'm here. I made it here. I'm not going back.
Naming components once is enough for you.
That's pretty good. I mean, that's that's an improvement over the way I've lived my life up till now. All right, so I'm bring that up a little higher. I just like that look of that piece hanging through. Structurally, a bottom chord that goes all the way through, of course, is stronger, but this is just a nice look. All right, so that looks cool. Let's go ahead and go to view. I guess I don't need this window open over here now that I've had it open the entire time I was modeling.
Mm-hmm.
And let's go to face style and get shaded with textures on again. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna come into one of these components. I'm gonna borrow this and put it on here. All right, let's do this. Let's reorient the axes. So you can see right here, the axes match the world axes. So that's why when I put that on, I get that weird, it's going the wrong direction, that material is. So what I can do is I can come up here and I can go to tools, I can go to axes, I can grab a point, and then I can shift my axes so that it matches the orientation of that piece. So if I leave, it says, do you want to modify that? Yes, I do. Nice thing is when I select it too, you see my bounding box is nice and tight around that extruded rectangle. That's great. But then also, if I come in here and put this in, that didn't work. Let me try sampling a different thing. Like sample, or actually let's grab it from here and then put that in. Ah, I'm a liar. Made me a liar.
You must use the world axis, I guess.
I guess so. I thought I was onto something. I was like, this is just going to be such a cool trick.
I know. I was waiting for it. You don't know if it's going to work until you try it. So, you know.
Well, now I'm just curious.
Experimenting.
You guys aren't the only ones who get to learn here. I'm going to grab this one and I'm going to rotate it so that it's flat, right? Like that. And now come in here and grab this and put it on here. Okay, so there, now it's drawn it vertical. So if I was to go this way, no, it's just going all the way around. Well, that's something, I guess, because it's easier to rotate to 90 degrees than match grab this, texture, position. Is there a way to just rotate 90 degrees? There we go. So now I could grab that and then hit the other three sides with that.
Very nice.
Yeah, but it's not what I wanted.
No.
Kicking dirt a little over here, but looks all right. Looks all right. And we got 2 for 1, so that's a plus. This one right here should be, in theory, much easier. 50-50 chance. If I grab this one though, maybe. Yeah, there we go. Now we're going the right way.
Yay.
I win 1. The seam is on here, so I'm going to go again, texture, position, slide that over just so that doesn't break on the member. Same thing here. texture position. You know, I could see if you do enough of this texture stuff, like some shortcut keys would actually be pretty cool. Because there's a lot of things I find that I do repeatedly, and it would probably save me time if I thought about that way.
I know there's an
Something's
extension
wrong
for
here.
rotating materials 90 degrees or more than just 90 degrees, but so you don't have to like go to texture position, you know?
Yeah, I think that, hey, I don't know if that's a shortcuttable command or not, but if not, let's make a nice extension there, and I would show it. Just one button, rotate face 90 degrees. Actually, it's probably out there. I mean, TomTom's probably did that, and he's kicking his monitor right now going, I gave that to you like 6 years ago. All right, let's take a look at this guy. All right, so I already got the axes lined up. If I put that on there, still. Okay, well, that's interesting. So for me, I look at this and I think it's going to be easier to rotate this to the world axes to do this. Right click, texture, position, right click, rotate 90 degrees. Exit out, sample that, and drop it, and drop it, and drop it. And then I can take this one and rotate it back. Okay. Looks good.
Yeah.
I like that. Let's save it. Command S.
Save.
Where are we at?
Yeah,
45 minutes
together.
in. Whew, we're flying.
Yeah, doing big things. We had a question about applying materials in a quicker way. Could you do like select everything within the component and paint it all at once to save time on the materials, or maybe like paint all connected or something like that?
Yeah, absolutely you could. I was doing it one at a time because I wasn't sure if I was going to have to adjust it. Depending on the shape you're painting, it may work really well. Sometimes it does. Roofs in particular, I'm going to say that like outsides of roofs, it does a really good job of seeing where the slope is and then aligning it 90 degrees to that. So it does a really good job on those kinds of planes. If you're doing something like a wallpaper, something on a vertical wall, it does a good job. But if you start painting around stuff like this, using a modifier key is okay. I mean, it's a good command. That's why I use it. But yeah, you might run into a little bit of an issue. That's why, Bill.
Right on time.
Had the same question come in twice. Yeah, Johnny Five's calling out detailing the connections. I'm plating it, so I don't have to. That's what we're going to do next. All right, so I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna go back to I'm thinking of a lot of shortcuts I could use as I'm modeling through these things. Like probably another scene where I just toggle the style to get to this face look is nice. Again, love materials, but there's something something more visible in here than when I'm in those face styles.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what I want to do is I want to create a custom bolted plate that laps over this middle piece and then each of these four pieces, so all five, and I'm going to have it come in like 1 inch and then run up maybe like 1.5 foot up on each of these joints, something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come figure out where I want to run to. So this, I'm going to go from here. I'm going to come up. Yeah, we'll say like 16 inches. And then I'll draw an edge. At 90 degrees to that, to there. Come back like this. Same thing, I'll start right here, come down here, 16 inches. Draw a line perpendicular there to here. I'm just gonna come around this, see if I like the look of that or not. And then same thing here, I'm gonna come up here, go up 16. And then, oh, that's too big. I don't like that. Yeah, 8 inches instead. No, that's too short. Let's go up 2 more inches. Yeah, sure. I'm not working off anything structural, of course. I am just making this look pretty. If I had structural requirements, of course, I would want to include those. All right, so I'm going to grab half that geometry that I just created, and I'm just going to mirror a copy of that over to here. And then what I created, oops. I'm going to make that into a group. And if I come into that group, getting tricky with me. There we go. That's what I've made so far.
Nice.
It's not a close face because these lines came in. So let's go like that, and we'll go like that. There you go. That's my plate so far. That laps out all the way to the edge. If we go back to my reference and we look at this, see how they are set in on the edges? I'm going to do something along those lines next. So I want to make it look like that. So I'm going to say offset. I'm going to offset this whole shape. I want to try 1 inch and just see how that looks. So I'm going to get rid of one piece here, and then I'll double click, triple click, excuse me. I'll get rid of all that detail. Let's look at how that looks. That looks cool. I love it. I'm sold. All right. I'm going to do a couple things here. One is I'm going to find the center here and draw a line past the middle. Same thing here. And I always do this on one side because we're symmetrical. So I want that. I want to put some bolt holes in there. So very similar to, again, how I have something like this. I want to do that same sort of thing and put bolt holes all through this that I can. I'm doing it now while it's a 2D piece, so I can just pull the holes out of there. So when I pull it into, when I get the plate some depth, it'll actually already have the holes in there. So let's do that. All right, so if we come in here, I actually kind of like the way that it had double bolt holes. So here's what I'll do. I'll go from here, like that, here, that, here, like that, and that side won't matter because that'll be copied. All right, so now I'm going to come down here. We'll go down like 3 inches. That gives me a point right here. I'm going to come in, grab a circle. I don't know, 1 inch circle, something like that. That'll work. All right, I'm going to grab that and I'm going to put that, we'll space out like, 6 inches. That works. I like that. All right, grab that. Same thing, I'm going to come right here, bring this one up 3 inches. I'll move that from the center. Copy, go to my 3 inch point, boom, get rid of these extra lines, take that option, go on here, 6 inches. Awesome. All right, then I grab that and that and that. And I'm gonna go use inference from here to here. Yeah, I gotta do one more here. This just doesn't look right. I wish real structural design was all about aesthetics, because this is a lot more fun than calling engineers and asking for information about the details they've put in. And it's not their favorite thing to hear from you. Come down 3 inches again.
Bill did point out that because you did kind of half of the midpoint, that these are not thirds.
They're not, they're a quarter.
Yeah, so
and
if that matters to you or not.
You.
But if you like your aesthetics of the quarter, then
yeah. I thought I'd try it, but I think third points would be better. I think I'm with you on that, Bill. All right, so I want to take a look at this real quick first.
Very nice, very nice. Transom shared a timber framer out of Maine who uses SketchUp Pro, so that's pretty cool.
I like him already.
So yeah, check that out if you're following along in the chat.
All right, so this would be third points, just for our reference. That's going to get in the way.
Guides.
Yeah. Just, yeah, there's no arguing with that. Yes, this is a guide position. This is where I should be doing guides. So grab this edge and we'll pull it down to, wait, why do you like that? Oh, deselect that. All right. I mean, what am I doing?
Don't you have to toggle it again to do guides or no?
Yeah, no, it was on guides originally. I turned it off. Some Fridays, am I right? Some Fridays are more. Use guides. That'd be fun. Yeah, I'll use some guides.
You can't just assume if you don't use it that you know how to use it the first time, you know?
Okay, this will work.
Nice.
All right, if we take this one. Oh, give me the middle piece. Yeah, that's what I want, the middle. Now let's take that one. Move a copy of that this way, 6 inches. 2x. There we go. Now we got some nice guides to work with.
Nice.
Nice guides, finish last. Go grab that, start the middle, stick it right there. All right, then this one, and this one, and this one. Move that middle to right. Come on, inference for me. Oh man.
Excuse me, it doesn't want to go. That's weird.
It's bothering me. Let's try you. Hey, how you doing? All right. That doesn't look like the midpoint.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy on guides for you.
I know. I said no to guides, and then I gave in, and now here I am. So I blame somebody who's not me. All right, let's get rid of all those. I don't know if that was it or not. Get rid of this extra geometry. I don't need this stuff around here. I'll grab those, and we'll move it now from the middle, midpoint to here. Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
That was weird.
Let's de-guide this thing. Get rid of our extra geometry. Whew. Okay, same thing here. This will be much easier because I can just grab this. I can say divide that into 3. And then I can grab my 2 points. I can move them from the center this direction and just inference to where that point is. And I can make a copy from here to here. All right, there we go.
Nice.
All right. You know, and I think I want to do this. I'm going to come here. There's 3 inches from the end. I'll take that one and same thing. Go find the middle, make a copy, drop that down here. I don't know, this might not work. This might be dumb. This might be the stupidest thing ever. Or wonderful, one of the two. And then I'm going to grab all of this geometry, this half the geometry. The fact that I'm grabbing redundant geometry doesn't matter. That won't hurt anything. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to mirror it from here to midpoint. There we go. That's going to look cool. That is going to look very cool. Awesome. So let me go finish that out. We've had this has come up a couple times. What do I do about all these extra pieces? So there's a couple things I could do. I'm going to do the simplest thing I can think of, which is select this piece right here, hit Command X, which will delete it, or I'm sorry, cut it. Grab all of this, hit delete, then go to edit, hit paste in place, and now I have the plate back without the holes. So
Clean.
I think that's the easiest way I could think to do that. The least number of steps. If you're somebody who likes clicking a lot, selecting and deleting is an acceptable solution. But I don't like that. So there we go. Before I pull it out, I'm going to color it. The reason I'm going to color beforehand is because if you paint a flat surface and you push pull, all the pull geometry is going to inherit the color that's applied to the face. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to go look at my metals and see if I have a nice dark. Oh, I got to go to my view and change my face style back to shaded with textures. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think I like that.
Buy it.
We'll pull it out like a 1/4 inch. And let's see how that looks. Nice. It's actually a little more rusticy than I was originally planning. Like that material, as opposed to like that black powder coated look.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a cool texture, so I don't really know what to do. Which means I lean on the audience. What do you guys think? Should I go for more of just a straight black, or do we like this material? You know what I could do? Never mind. I don't care what you think. Here's what I'm gonna do. I've been doing this for every other thing, so why not this? Let's just grab it and make it darker. Let's see if we can get to keep some of that texture, but still go, yeah, look at that. That's the stuff. That's what I'm looking for. Beautiful. All right. Let's save that. Oop, nope, I just undid that. Redo that and then save that. There we go. All right. Because I'm working with a lot of dark materials, it can get hard to model. So that's another reason that I like to hop over here and just say view. Let's go to face style, monochrome again. I can model on my simple white geometry. Ooh, that one's hitting right at the edge. Those ones might have to go away. But they're not gonna because modeling for fun. Uh-oh, I'm gonna triple click all of this and soften and smooth it because I got a broken circle here. Oh, that's weird.
Hmm.
What?
Oh, because you overlapped the circles when you did the mirror.
Was already.
Although I don't know why they would have been oriented differently, but
yeah, everybody else turned out okay. Just one troublemaker ruining it for everybody. Fortunately, not too hard of a fix. I'll just delete that. I'll grab this and I will move a copy of it from here to here. Use that relative inference. Whoa, these ones are weird too. You guys are all problems. How do you look? Weird. Get gone. All right. All right, let's try that again. So grab these 3 holes. We'll go from here, option, to here. There we go. Oops.
nice. Always good to see a quick fix.
There we go. Oh, this side didn't intersect quite. Perfectly.
James is saying to make the metal PBR shiny. I think Aaron's waiting for like the big reveal because he hasn't showed photoreal materials yet. He's yeah keeping it for the end. But yeah, that was just shaded with texture, so there wasn't actually any PBR properties displaying. But yeah, it'll be a lot more shiny in the final.
I'll get ambient occlusion on. You get a little taste.
Ta-da! Yeah, that looks nice.
Look at that. I'm done. Forget it. I'm not doing it anymore. It's too cool. All right, so I want to come in here, and I do want to put some bolts. So on one side, we'll just have a big hex head. On the other side, we'll have a little bit of a shaft of a bolt and then a nut. So on this side, if this is just, I'm going to put a circle in here anyhow, just to have something to work with. I'm not going to worry about cutting the hole out of the material, the wood. because I won't be able to see it. So it's a level of detail that I don't want to add a bunch of geometry for if I'm never going to even see that. And
Smart.
then I will come in with a polygon, a 6-sided polygon, draw that from the center of the circle out, about that big. And then I'm going to just pull that up like that much. I'm going to triple click all that and make it a component. Now to get it through to the other side, ooh, here's a fun thing to do. Oh, I don't have my plate on the other side yet. Well, let's take that. And I think I'm actually going to mirror it because I want to flip the side around. So, because I could just move it, but I think I'm going to try to keep the outside face the same. Option here. There we go. And now if I go peek back inside this piece, I can go edit this. I can pull that. Actually, you have to zoom inside because I just go like that. Then we can go to View, Component Edit, Unhide Rest of Model. And now we have this. Perfect. Let's pull that to like there. And then let's use the same size to grab this. Now we'll go Option. And I'll move it straight through the, oh, whoa, 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 roof. I'm outside, I'm outside. All right, there we go. We'll take that straight across like I meant to do. There we go. And then we'll pull this up like that. I'm gonna grab all that geometry, right click and say intersect face with selection. So I get seams where I want them. Perfect. And then I'm gonna grab all of it, use my paint bucket to sample this material and paint it all that same color. I guess I could grab it from here too and just paint it all the same. But there we go. Perfect. All right,
Nice.
now I need to get it to each of these other holes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab one of these. I'm gonna turn on X-ray, figure out how to do this. Let's grab, let's go by center. Go by center here, Option, and I'm gonna come down here. This is a little tricky because I have multiple stacks of, I have stacks of holes, so finding the center could be tricky, but I got it right. There you go, and then just say 2x. There's those 3 in. Now I'll take this one, and I was thinking how to best do this, because if I just drag it straight down, it'll work. There's nothing wrong with that, because I could just come here and I could say, okay, again, go to the middle, go here, Option copy that, and then come down here. I think this is just what I'm gonna do, because sometimes I try to make problems for myself. I think that's a podcast, making problems to solve. Oh no! Who said I should put these at third points?
Well, they're components, so just use smaller bolts.
They are components, so we can just shrink them down. All right, I'm gonna grab those two. Was that Bill? Thanks a lot, Bill.
Busted. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding. Not a big deal. This is one of the issues of 2x. Boom. This would be, of course, one of the issues with making stuff up as opposed to working off of actual plans. Hey, there we go. Dimensions, 12 inches on center. Yeah, these seemed a little tight as I was putting them in here. I don't think I need to go quite that. But again, this is exposed. This is definitely for looks. So yeah. All right, I'm gonna turn my X-ray off. And I'm gonna grab this first bolt. I'm gonna say offset that much. And then push that back. There we go, much better. And we'll do the same thing over here with the bolts. Come in here, offset this that much, and then push this back here. Yeah, I like it.
Nice.
All right, couple more to do. This will go pretty quick, I think. I'm gonna grab this one. Again, find the center of the hole. Option copy. I'm gonna drop that on this guy right here. It's having all this extra geometry and X-ray can be tough, but I just have to make sure I inference off the right thing. So right there, I'm hovering on the front circle. This is the center of that front circle, so I know I'm good. As long as I'm conscious of that, then nope, I grabbed something from the wrong spot, because that should be back here. So something was off there. grabbed something wrong. Oh, they're all, nope, they're good. I must have grabbed it off the back circle and then placed it on the front circle. So let's try it again. Make sure on the front circle. There we go. Option copy that up to this circle right here. And then we'll do this one. Woo, woo, woo. All right. Sweet.
Nice.
Turn that tray off. Make sure that looks good. Beauty. All right. So I'm going to grab that half. And then again, I'm just going to mirror it. You know, there's a time where that would have been most easily done with component, where we would have broke the whole thing into a model, half of it, put it all together. Mirror's pretty nice. I am really enjoying that command. Okay, that looks pretty sweet. So now I'm going to grab this. I'm going to make that into a new component. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to move it from this face right here, option. I'll skip 2. Now we'll come down here 4 feet or 8 feet, 3x, 5x. And of course, we're going to run into a problem with that odd spacing, but that looks pretty sweet. Let's go check this out with materials.
I like it.
Let's say let's. All right, view, face style, and shade with textures. That's looking pretty cool. I like that. It's pretty good. It is dark though. It's very dark. So let's. You're right. I was saving this, but it's been ruined now. So we'll just go ahead. Yeah, let's go ahead and see how this looks with photoreal materials.
I'm telling all your secrets over here.
That's right. Face style, photoreal materials. Get some real light on there. Oh. Yes.
Very nice.
So one of the things, just to point out about photoreal materials, they're awesome. Start with, I love photoreal materials. They look so cool. But there really are global illumination. So there's one point that the light's coming from, and that's the sun, and it's going to light up. So for interiors, it gets to be a little weird because while you can turn on shadows and get things like light coming through the window and stuff like that, the illumination around everything else, all the faces, is going to be relative to where the sun is, whether the face is inside or outside of a building. So this highlight right here that I'm getting across these materials is because the sun is hitting them. In theory, if this was a solid wall over here on this side, I wouldn't have any sun hitting it, but that's what we're doing. That's why that's happening. But yeah, that looks pretty cool. I like that. That material turned out pretty good, right? Let's look at that.
Yeah, nice and shiny.
Got kind of like I said, that powder coated. Maybe it's even a little too fierce. Maybe you want to back it down a little bit, but looks good. Cool. I'm going to save that. And I'm going to finish up.
While you take a drink there, we did have one comment on when you're changing the bolts. It's not so easy just to change to smaller bolts because you kind of have a specific one you're using that's safe and doesn't break. Aaron's just field fitting everything here and doing what works for a 2-hour model. But yeah,
that's the nice thing about a 2-hour roof you build is there's whatever load on it you really want. And I'm going to say none. There's no load on this roof at all. We're good.
A cool breeze.
Yeah. Again, I'm jumping from like a conceptual architecture stage right to like finished design. So we're definitely skipping a step or two here. So yeah, in reality, I would probably have those bolts called out. I would know exactly what they are, and I would design my plate to fit those bolts. So if I knew what my spacing was, I would know what my hole sizes were, what my bolt size, my nut sizes were. I would know all that and have to actually design my plate so it's the proper spacing to make it fit. Yeah, I'm a little playing it very fast and loose in this. In fact, to prove my point, I'm going to scoot these all down 12 inches, and I'm going to make the room 2 feet shorter because I can.
Yeah,
It's
there you
just
go.
that easy.
That's the easy
Come in
fix.
here, and then we'll grab this, and we will just scoot them straight back 1 foot 8. I actually kind of like the way that extends that, but I'll push that back to there.
Some other chat about how to move circles onto circles. Some people adding lines in the middle and then using that to reference the center of the second circle. Some people adding a construction point. You can do right click and find center and then use that as an inference point. So all good ways for sure.
Yeah, construction point's great. And with that new, I think it was last version, Matt, do you remember when we got the ability to toggle to construction points?
I think that's 2026.1, like the point release for the latest version.
Yeah, so if I come in here, let's go to view, face style, let's go back to monochrome. So if I want to put a circle or a point to reference, I can reference here once and then go click. And now I actually have a clickable point right there. So a lot of times if I'm trying to inference, I'll go hover over the edge and then go to the middle. Now I can just jump straight to that dot and I know I have an inference point there. So that is pretty cool. The other thing, we did a video a couple weeks ago with, practical use for snaps. And that was one of them. You can actually stick a snap point on a circle and then inference it that way, or inference to that snap point that way.
Yeah. And before you move on, we just had one comment about please make more landscape design content. So thanks for the comment. We'll certainly add it to the list of stuff to do. So yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, we're always looking for more ideas on what you folks are looking to see. So whether it's live streams or other videos, always feel free to let us know because we keep a running list. It is a long list, so we can't guarantee that it's going to be,
it's a couple
next
years old.
week.
Yeah. I almost feel like I don't know if there's interest from the greater group. We've done some behind the scenes stuff, but that might be kind of a fun thing to do is talk about how we make these things, and then also all the great comments we've compiled, because we do have a lot of great ideas, and we have a lot of ideas that we took down because we said we would take down all your ideas. So
well, a lot of them, especially for live streams, are like very complicated, long models.
Yeah,
wouldn't really fit into the format. So not that it wouldn't be cool. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
But Indian Stepwell, I'm looking at you.
We've had people recommend cars and engines and planes, and it's kind of funny because they go in and give the specific like part numbers and things for things. And I'm like, it doesn't matter which engine you pick. It's not a brass steam engine with 7 parts. It's probably not going to get modeled in real life. So, yeah. But that doesn't mean don't keep them coming. We are constrained by our timelines, but a lot of times those ideas end up spinning off new ideas. So we did not do the specific plane that somebody recommended, but we ended up making a subdeed jet plane at one point because of that suggestion. So yeah, it's always worth it. All right, that looks pretty sweet. I want to finish out a little bit more of the room. I have some ideas for how I want this to look. So I'm going to spend just, I don't know, like 10 minutes. We're going to spend 10 minutes just filling out what the rest of this room might look like. I like this wood. I want to carry this wood through, but I want to see how these look against white walls. So I'm going to do that for just a minute or two. All right, first thing I want to do is I want to take this detail down in the corners. So I'm going to come here to this corner right here. I'm going to drop that straight down to the origin. And I'm modeling space right now. I did not turn my
your reference back on.
Yeah, my reference is still hid like that. And I'm going to pull that out like this. And I'll make that component. I don't know. Still an advocate of naming everything, but it doesn't necessarily mean the thing that you name it makes any sense to anybody.
Thingamabob.
Thing one, thing two.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll grab both of those. And then I'm going to take one of those. And I'm going to make it unique.
Nice.
And come in here, push this up to here. Grab this edge right here, take that vertical. There we go. And then I guess I could have done this could have done these together, but I'll take that one and I will mirror it. Where's my middle? Like that. And I'll take both of those and I will mirror them again. Like that. And let's turn reference on. There you go. You see how the corner detail is going to sit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it not? Oh, because I changed my box, so it's a little off on the back edge. Apparently, my original box went below grade too.
It's the foundation.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we did have one request. Any chance of a hip and valley where the length of the sides are not equal?
We could do something like that. I mean, not right now, but I gotta be able to see the finish line by now. But yeah, that's absolutely something we do. We do some hip framing. We've done some videos on it before, but yeah, always up for more of that if that's what people want to see.
Mm-hmm.
So what was this? This was 2 inches. Let's make this slightly. No, it's slightly bigger. All right, so I'm just going to throw a couple more pieces in here, and then we'll go put some materials on them, and then turn it all on and see how it looks. Straight across like that.
Nice.
And then one more.
You also have a comment, top plate, Aaron.
That was my nickname back in framing school.
top men working on it. Top plate Aaron is working on it too.
Top men, top guys. All right, I'm gonna go view, turn my material back on, shape textures, and then we just got to get some materials on here. So I'm gonna hit B. I think that was the one. Oh, all right. So there, see, I just colored everything. Unfortunately, half my faces are wrong. So what I'm gonna have to do now is come in here, grab this one, texture, position, right click, rotate 90 degrees. Looks good. Same thing over here. Now, rather than rotating this one, I'm gonna just sample this side. Whoops. Sample this side and apply it here. There we go. That's good.
Nice.
And then I just got to do that for the rest of these materials real quick. Yeah, let us know some ideas you have for good models or thoughts on. They don't have to be live models either. They could just be shorter form videos. We do several of those every week. So let us know. Let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, for sure. And take it easy, Eric. Eric Sargent was in the chat.
Oh, good to see Eric. I bet he had a comment about the landscape streams.
Yeah, he said he'd love to see some too. But then he admitted he's biased. But we all knew that.
Yep. All right, one more.
James tuning in on Facebook says, good job. Currently working on a Jacobean strapwork ceiling. Am I pronouncing that correctly? For a historic castle project in Ireland. That sounds like a lot of fun. So that's awesome. A lot of groups
That
and copy
sounds
pasting, he says.
amazing. I would love to learn more about that. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Would you say jack beans? What?
Jacobean? Jacobean?
Jacobian?
I don't know. Could be.
I don't know.
Jacobian? Sounds cooler to say Jacobian.
It does. That was really where I was going. No idea what that sounds like, but Jacobian sounds cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like what would Jacob do? I don't even know who Jacob is, but yeah. All right, let's see how that looks. Reverse all these faces. Yes, I love that. That's so
Very
cool.
nice.
I like it.
You need like one of those big stone fireplaces in here, you know?
It's got a yeah, like a medievally Game of Thronesy look, maybe. I don't know. Oh yeah, that is cool. I like it. Awesome. It's a period in U.S. history.
UK history.
UK history.
Same thing.
Okay.
Up that glasses prescription.
Oh.
And I'm happy to hear that I said it right the first time. So, yay me. That's all I have to do is read. So hopefully I can do that.
Scottish, apparently. Fight, fight, fight. No, wait. Don't say it to that. No, don't fight, guys. Love it. Okay, yeah. Cool. Well, yeah, let's I'm gonna do this is totally off script. We're at the point where I want to get to. I'm gonna make that a group. I'm gonna throw a floor on in here, maybe like stone or something, just to make it look really cool. And then yeah, we'll call this thing just about done. So let's see. Come in here, go find some stone. I'm gonna do the same thing because this when you go into default materials, each of these materials is a high quality photo image. So we chose not to send a huge amount of materials with the installer. We wanted to give some, so we have some materials in there so you can play with. But like stone, this is all kind of like marble, countertoppy type materials. If you want something that looks like a stone, like a stone built floor, something like that, you do want to hit the 3D warehouse button. But that's going to take you into these, I can't remember, couple hundred different materials that you can pull from. These are all available for you as part of 2026. They just weren't shipped with it, because if we shipped it with it, it would take like, I can't remember, 10 times as long to download or 20 times, something big, something that's not good.
Yeah, those image files, especially because they have all the maps associated with them, you know, so that's like each one has a lot of images associated.
Yeah.
And you can always add your own materials too if you can't find the right one in the 3D warehouse. But
that's right.
But yeah, nice to have that 3D warehouse built in where it just automatically, you know, brings it in right to your paint bucket with all the maps applied and everything.
It really does make it easy. And thanks to some videos from people like yourself, Matt, we actually have some easy to follow tips to get materials from other platforms in too. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And you were talking about the environments too. I feel like I a lot of times end up adding my own environment. We have videos on that as well, on how to do that. Just to get a little bit more control over the final, you know, image-based lighting look.
Yeah, it's very easy to do that the first time and just kind of geek out on it. So much fun, but there is definitely an art to getting all the sliders just right. So, all right. So I'm trying to find something that looks a little more organic. Well, that's a little too ordered still. I'm gonna go grab, well, this one has different size pieces, so I'm just gonna use that one. I'm gonna grab that one. I'm gonna download it. Oh, this is definitely not floor brick, but I'm gonna put it on here anyhow. I'm gonna go in, texture, position that. I'm gonna make it much larger. And I think, oh, that's pretty cool. I like this. I like the way this turned out. I have this strong desire to go in and start cutting windows in and putting some chairs in, stuff like that. But this was what we were here for. Let's stay focused, shall we? But yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I think we created something that even an expert in timber frame would feel pretty good about. I mean, superficially at least.
Yeah.
It's not gonna, no, we can't build from this, but yeah, I thought it turned out pretty good. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, to my eye, it turned out good. Looks like structurally sound and as realistic as I know about. But breaking news: we have somebody on the line. Hold on, I'm hearing in my ear here. We have somebody calling in, and they are a timber framing expert. We have a timber frame expert on the line, and please give a big, warm SketchUp Live welcome to Mike Beganyi.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, guys. Hey, Aaron. Hey, Matt. Long time no see, huh?
How's it going? Yeah,
it's going. I'm doing great. I think the last time I saw Aaron was either in Boulder or in Vegas. I don't remember. So
I remember we ended up on a train together, so I'm thinking that was probably Vegas.
Yeah.
There was just commuting to the hotel.
And Boston too. There was an AIA convention, I think. So.
Oh, maybe that was it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, the idea for this actually kind of became a spur of the moment. We had a different idea and we kind of shifted. This would be kind of a fun thing to do because I don't even know why, but just thought it would be fun. And we posted a course on the forum, tell everybody about it. And Mike was one of the people who said, hey, I can come on and talk about timber frame because he actually knows about it and doesn't make stuff up like I do.
Yeah, I saw your name in the chat, and other you and other folks kind of talking about maybe there's some things you would change about the design as it went along. Maybe too many to count, but
maybe so. To be clear, like I said, I had nothing. We started from nothing and I wanted to make a thing that looked like a cool roof. But aside from working off of like engineered working drawings, how do you go about when you're creating a roof like this? What do your steps look like?
So you did pretty well. The thing I do is I create that shell that you did. So I automatically create that roof pitch. So I create the footprint and then I create the sort of the volume of the space. And I usually think about, for me, a lot of my timber frames that I work on are structural, and they also want to be pretty, like you talked about in the chat. So what I do is I usually put that shell that you drew would be the interface between the back of the timber and the wall surface. So if it was going to be tongue and groove or drywall or plaster or whatever. So yeah, that's always how I start. So a lot of times I'll get a doodle in from an architect or a sketch, and then I'll bring it into SketchUp, and then I'll figure out what dimensions I need to be, and then I bring that volume up. And then I wish I could work on things sort of simple like this all the time, but I often have a lot of compound roofs, so I have a lot of different things like colliding and smashing into each other. So I try to figure out where I always start at the top like you did. You work down basically. Mm-hmm. So good. Yeah, you were right on. I feel like you almost maybe you watched my Basecamp presentation from 2016 or something. I don't know, but yeah, you kind of nailed that part. That's super important to create that volume and that shell, and then work backwards. So, yeah. The other cool thing about that process is then sometimes I'll do the rest of the house or the sit panels or the framing drawings around it, so I can actually take that volume, copy paste it into a new SketchUp file, and I can do all the windows, doors, cabinet, whatever else I want to do. And then I merge the things back together. So one set of drawings goes to the framer, one set of drawings goes to the owners, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, so
That's
cool to see.
Thank you. Good. I'm glad I wasn't too far off base. I did a log cabin once and got just comments were not pretty.
Oh, well, a log cabin, when a log cabin is unsettling, it's when you can't open the doors of the windows and the ridge is on the ground. So,
yeah. And I'll point out that my log cabin that I designed in SketchUp is still in SketchUp at the exact same height it started at. So who's building them wrong now?
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, I got it. And I know we don't have a ton of time here, Mike, but I did. Yeah. So first thing I have advice for you. I mean, if you do want to keep your roof simple, tell them that you have to be able to design them in less than 2 hours, because that definitely simplifies the scope.
Yeah.
But failing that, how did you get into? I know, because like you said, you specialize in this kind of design. How did you end up here? Because I know I was flipping through your site, and you didn't start as a timber frame design expert.
No, I didn't. I studied sculpture in undergrad, so I'm a cutty pasty kid. And then I went to architecture school, and I kind of got a little frustrated because all through my undergrad, I worked for carpenters and, ran the wood shop at the college, was teaching a little bit of design stuff. So I kind of missed work with my hands. So I left grad school, was teaching again, and then I found this crazy school in Massachusetts that taught timber framing courses. And I did a course there. Well, I did 3 courses one summer, kind of fell in love. And then went to work for a guy where we cut old school, super traditional timber frames, moved to Western or Eastern Pennsylvania, lived in my tent for 6 months, and I was taking down old barns. So I was learning how everything came together by taking them apart. But after a certain time, all your overalls smell like cows and pigeons, and not really the cow or the pigeon, but the stuff that comes out of the cows and the pigeons. And I got kind of tired of that gig. So I got more into, I ran my own shop for a while. I worked for a production shop, learned how to do CNC, got into design. And then, I'm not a young man anymore. So I realized early on, 20 years ago, that I needed to move more into design, which is where my heart was anyways, because I studied design in school. And been using SketchUp since the Atlas days. Like I got a CD-ROM, like back in the day where you had to enter the code, and it blew my mind. And I got to tell you, the first timber frame I drew in SketchUp, I completely did every newbie thing that you could do wrong, right? No groups, no components. It was just all this spaghetti of lines. And I actually cut that and turned it into a barn for my very first client. Did all the joinery in it, and I probably had 10,000 million hours into that simple drawing because of how much of a mess I made. But I was sold on how to use SketchUp and then use it for my work. So
that's awesome. We did have one question came up. Bill was asking, do you use engineering manuals to work out stresses involved at various touch points, or how do you go about making sure things are the right size?
So the right side, that's a good question. So I work with a couple different engineers. Well, I work with probably 4 or 5 different engineers that are licensed in the US and Canada. I know enough to be dangerous, so I usually get myself close based on the sizing and with my experience, and then send the model. I actually had some custom plugins written for me that I can color code my models and shoot them off to my engineering friends, and they do all the analysis, because the final analysis is above my pay grade. But I usually get pretty close. Where I get into trouble is I'm working on a really cool project right now that is just entering one of my clients' shops. And it's going to be in Florida, but we have, in Florida has hurricanes. And it's an open air pavilion, and open air pavilions and hurricanes, they like to float away. They like to blow away. So I get into trouble when we have super heavy wind loads or seismic loads. So I also have right now a project in California where I lived in Vermont for the longest time before we moved to Switzerland. And in Vermont, we had to worry about snow, and there were no earthquakes, and there were very few hurricanes. So when I get into stuff like this, then it's definitely time for the engineer to earn their money. Seismic and wind are sort of out of my league for understanding what happens. So
not my deal.
Yeah, exactly. So
I love that. No, that's cool. That's I mean, that's how I would expect it to work.
yep.
Because you know, obviously with a custom built timber truss, you don't have like a span chart or something where you're like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, design number 6 spans 60 feet. You're gonna have to
Yep.
design that all up, and it's a component and everything. So it definitely feels like one of those spots where you go, okay, now the PE gets to make their money on this job. So
Yeah. Yeah. I did a last, well, I got to see it in April. I was in the States and I did a tour of 3 of my different clients, and the custom airplane hangar with a 75-foot span. So these monster trusses for a private jet. And I was pretty close. There was a lot of hidden steel that had to happen in order to keep the trusses from sort of folding on themselves. But it was a 3 crane. Each truss required 3 cranes to set into place. It's pretty wild.
Gosh.
So some really cool stuff.
So
That
with
I've gotten
something
to
like
work
that,
on.
a 75-foot truss, is that just built on site? You just set up a place to build something that big, or
Yeah, I mean,
somehow?
they had a runway and a foundation for a hangar, so they had plenty of room. But yeah, I think the longest sticks were 30 something feet, and they were scarf jointed together with steel plates. So lay it all on the site, and then you sort of stack up the bents. So each one of your trusses in your drawing would have been sort of laying flat, and then the crane comes along and picks them up. And there was a crane at each end and one in the middle. It was pretty wild to see the video, and I got to see they were kind of doing finishing, so a lot of the timbers were covered with plastic and painter's tape when I was there, but it was still cool to walk in and kind of like, I mean, it's a 65-foot door on the front, like that folds up. So it's like proper, like serious construction, not just this play stuff that like normally I do with residential stuff. So it was cool. So
That's awesome. Love it. I'm just trying to think of 75-foot clear span, and then
yeah.
who did? All right, I just here's the question: who decides I got a 75-foot clear span? Let's see if we could do wood. Is that just somebody who's got? Is it like somebody that I got 3 planes and can't fly, and I need to put them in a hangar? Let's make it out of wood. Is that just a money
sort
guy,
of.
or how do you do that?
That's sort of is how it was. My client, the client that I do the design work, the timber frame company, they happen to have built this guy's house, and so they're like, "Oh, well, why don't we do the airplane hangar, kind of deal?" And they built
You do.
one of his barns, as you do. So yeah, it's a kind of a funny world because it is sort of silly that I work on something like that, but I also have now a semi-retired couple up in the Adirondacks that are building their sort of retirement cabin. And it's 1,200 square feet, and it's going to be timber framed, and it's really cozy. And they're going to have the grandkids up for Christmas, but it's a whole different like universe, right, from some of these like literal rock star projects that I get to work on. So it's like a weird place. It's a cool place to be, actually. So I kind of dig it. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Well, and if you get into build or designing something and you enjoy it, and people start recognize, then that's a good spot to be, right? Like, you get to do the thing you really like to do.
Yeah, my wife teases me because she comes into my office and she's like, "All you do is draw lines on the computer all day long," and I'm like, "Yeah," and I'm smiling about it, So I get to just be doodling. A lot of my work is just drawing weird stuff. But I have to say, you're 2 hours, so I typically knock out 3 to 4 small projects a day in SketchUp, just boom, 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 as schematic, and then those go off to the homeowner or the builder or whoever, and then sometimes they come back around, and then it takes a lot of time then to do the joinery and all that stuff, and depending on where it's going to go. So my SketchUp is just so fast for me. It's unreal how I used to work in AutoCAD with it was called HSB CAD, which was an overlay, because we were doing CNC work. And once I sort of fully got into SketchUp, the muscle memory and the quickness of doing this kind of stuff. And even right now I'm working on it's called a Lamella Vault. There's 1,300 pieces and they're identical. There's 700 or 600 650 pieces left and 650 pieces right, and they mortise together, but they create this vault. So it's pretty wild, but it's completely different, right? It's these little tiny pieces that they're going to like cut on a CNC machine you can put in your garage, but they're going to assemble them into this like gridded, rigid structure. So it's even with that, SketchUp is fully capable of like figuring out, you know, I found a plugin to help develop the raw geometry, and I can come in, make a component, and it's cool because I change one of them and all 1,300 of them update with the pegs and the joinery and the mortises. And so I love it. I love it for what I do. And it's sort of given me a life of being able to design and do cool stuff. So
yeah. I'm just going to say this. If Matt dropped the link to Mike's website, if you haven't seen his work, just go check it out. Give yourself, 5-10 minutes to flip through, and just very cool looking stuff. And then of course he also shared his 2016 recording of his presentation, which I feel like I have to go back and watch now, and now that I've taught you something, learn how I should have done it.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere else that you'd point people to check out your work or other stuff, to learn more about?
So two things. With my work, a lot of my best work will never see the light of day because it's under NDA for people that play football and have supermodel wives, or very patriotic rock stars that live in New Jersey, or et cetera, et cetera. So I've done some really cool things that I sort of laugh about, that I was able to work on these things. But if you check out the Timber Framers Guild, tfguild.org, or Timber Framers Guild, if you search for them on the web, they're super great. I'm on the board of directors of a place called the Heartwood School, which is a timber framing school up in New Hampshire. I used to teach there all the time before I moved. I taught SketchUp there, 3 classes every summer before I moved over to Switzerland when my wife got her new job over here. So now I'm on the board of directors because I don't teach anymore, but at least I can help stay involved with the school. So those are the 2 things that are super cool if you're interested in timber framing to check out. And then there's some wild stuff going on with different companies. Benson Wood is a great one. Great Country Timber Frames is a great one. New Energy Works is a great one. There's this crazy place, if you look up the Swatch headquarters timber structure, it's a Swiss company, and it's this like sea amoeba worm thing that they did with glue lambs and curved stuff. Wood is just such an amazing thing to build with because you can do so much cool stuff with it. So
I agree. I think it's it's always amazing to see like a bridge that supports cars that's built from a single glue lamb beam, like bent over.
Yeah,
it's
just wild. Yeah, it's just wild.
That's awesome. So a couple of people are definitely asking questions. So we can hang out with Mike a couple more minutes. My question would be like, what do you guys think? I don't want to put Mike on the spot, but you guys think we should have Mike back and like do a full-on interview about the industry, about his work, that sort of stuff? Maybe see a model or 2. What do you guys think?
I definitely vote yes.
Also, I'm going to use that line and go, I would love to show you more work, but most of it's under NDA. Can't drop any names, but
keeps it very mysterious. Yeah, it keeps it very mysterious. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
Keggy said he'd like to know more. I think that would be fun. If you have interest in that, Mike, we've done a couple sessions on the live stream where we bring experts in, and it's just a fun hangout. And people told me they learned something, so that's a blessing.
Yeah, I would love to. I saw that question come up about the valley roof systems and all that, and I do probably 2 or 3 valley roof systems a week, so it's like, I could jump in there and we can model some valley framing and whatever. Absolutely. That would be fun. It would be fun. Yeah. So
all right. Well, we'll plan on it. We'll work a good schedule out with Mike, and we'll let you guys know when he's coming back. But right now, thank you so much for hopping on, and thank you for not roasting me too bad. Let's we'll make a plan. We'll come back.
Yep.
And
thanks for having me. I appreciate it. It was fun to see it pop up and like be like, hey, cough, cough. I could join you guys if you want. So
I know
thanks
a
a lot.
guy.
Yeah, I know a guy, and he's not under NDA to talk to you.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Sold. All right. Well, hey, everybody watching, thank you guys for hanging out with us. This has been a lot of fun. This was a good one. I love working from scratch and get to kind of wing it a little bit. When measurements this big, that's probably a big difference. I can make up wood sizes and model anything, but yeah, thanks for hanging out with us. This is great. Everybody have a great weekend. Have a wonderful week and meet us back here next Friday. What are we doing next Friday, Matt?
I have it right here, of course. We are doing Villa Savoye. Is that how you pronounce that?
Ooh. Yeah, something Justin recommended, I think.
Yeah.
And I'll have to go look it up again to see what it is. But yeah, it's a good one.
10 minutes before next week's stream.
That's right.
That'll be
I'll
you.
do that Friday morning. But you guys have a great time. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay sane, and we'll see you next time.
Take care.